Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in life is stop. Stop running. Stop chasing noise. Stop listening to every voice around you. Because the truth is, most people are not tired from working hard. They are tired from running in the wrong direction. Every day the world tells you to move faster, hurry up, do more, be more, achieve more. But no one tells you to pause and think. And that's where most people lose themselves. They keep moving without asking one simple question. Is this even the life I want? So today, just for a moment, stop. Stop scrolling. Stop comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. Because comparison is a silent thief. It steals your confidence. It steals your focus. And slowly it steals your dreams. You start believing you are behind. Behind in success. Behind in money. Behind in life. But here is the truth no one tells you. Life is not a race. There is no universal timeline. No invisible clock judging your progress. Some people succeed at 20. Some people succeed at 50. Some people fail 10 times before they win once. And that's okay. But what is not okay is living a life that is not yours. That's why sometimes the bravest decision you can make is to stop. Stop doing things just to please others. Stop saying yes when your heart is screaming no. Stop chasing approval from people who never cared about your journey. Because the moment you stop seeking validation, you start discovering your true power. Look around you. Most people are not living their dreams. They are living expectations. Their parents' expectations. Society, social media's expectations. They follow a script they never wrote. School, job, stress, repeat. And one day they wake up wondering, where did my life go? Don't let that be your story. Stop before life forces you to stop. Because sometimes life will stop you anyway. Through failure, through heartbreak, through loss. And those moments feel painful. But they also carry a hidden gift. They force you to reflect. They force you to rethink your direction. They force you to rebuild stronger. Every successful person has experienced that moment. The moment when everything collapsed. The moment when nothing made sense. The moment when they felt completely lost. But instead of quitting, they paused. They analyzed. They adapted. And then they moved forward again, stronger than before. That is the power of stopping. Stopping is not weakness. Stopping is strategy. When a warrior pauses in battle, it is not because he is afraid. It is because he is planning his next move. And your life deserves that same level of awareness. Stop tolerating negativity. Stop surrounding yourself with people who drain your energy. Because your environment shapes your mindset. If you sit with negative people, you will start thinking negatively. If you sit with dreamers, your mind will expand. Choose wisely. Stop doubting your potential. The biggest prison in this world is not made of steel bars. It is made of self-doubt. People convince themselves they are not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough. But the reality is, most limits exist only in the mind. History is filled with people who were underestimated, people who were told they were average, people who were told they would never succeed. And yet, they proved everyone wrong. Why? Because they stopped believing the lies and started believing in themselves. So today I want you to stop something. Stop telling yourself the story that you can't do it. Stop repeating the narrative that you are not ready. Because readiness is a myth. No one ever feels fully ready. People become ready by taking action. But before action comes awareness. And awareness begins with a simple pause. Stop and ask yourself, what kind of life do I really want? Not the life society expects. Not the life others admire. Your life. Your vision, your purpose. Because once you discover that, everything changes. Your decisions change. Your priorities change. Your discipline becomes stronger. You stop wasting energy on meaningless things. You stop arguing with people who don't understand your mission. You stop chasing temporary pleasure. And you start building something real, something lasting. But it all begins with one moment, one decision, one powerful word. Stop living unconsciously. Stop drifting through life. Stop being afraid of change. Because the moment you stop living on autopilot, you finally start living intentionally. And intentional living is powerful. It means every step you take has meaning. Every action moves you closer to your purpose. Every day becomes progress. So today, take a breath, pause for a moment, and ask yourself honestly, what must I stop today so that I can become the person I'm meant to be? Maybe you need to stop procrastinating. Maybe you need to stop listening to negativity. Maybe you need to stop doubting your dreams. Whatever it is, identify it, confront it, end it. Because the moment you stop the things destroying your future, you create space for the things that build it. Remember this, success is not only about what you start. Sometimes success begins with what you stop. Stop the excuses, stop the fear, stop the distractions, and when you do, your real journey finally begins. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment does not exist. Most people spend years waiting for the right time, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting until they feel confident enough. But life does not reward waiting. Life rewards movement. The truth is, the moment you are waiting for will never arrive perfectly. There will always be problems. There will always be uncertainty. And that is exactly why most dreams die. Not because they were impossible, but because someone kept waiting. So stop waiting. Stop telling yourself one day I will start my business. One day I will chase my passion. One day I will change my life, because one day often becomes never. Years pass, opportunities disappear, energy fades, and suddenly you realize something painful. You were not waiting for the right moment. You were hiding from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing. But here is something powerful you must understand. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every person you admire has failed. They failed publicly. They failed painfully. They failed repeatedly. But they did something different. They refused to let failure define them. Instead, they used it as feedback. They asked themselves, what can I learn from this? And then they tried again, and again, and again, until one day something changed. Progress appeared. Momentum started building. And suddenly the same people who once doubted them started saying, you're lucky. But luck had nothing to do with it. It was persistence. It was courage. It was discipline. And it all started with one decision. The decision to stop letting fear control their life. So ask yourself something honestly. How many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid? How many ideas have you ignored because you thought you were not ready? How many dreams have you buried because someone else doubted you? Think about that. Because the cost of fear is not just failure. The real cost of fear is regret. And regret is a heavy burden. People rarely regret the risks they took, but they deeply regret the chances they never tried, the words they never said, the dreams they never pursued, the life they never allowed themselves to live. That is why stopping fear is so important. Fear will always exist. Even the most confident people feel fear. The difference is they act anyway. They move forward despite the doubt, despite the uncertainty, despite the voices telling them it's impossible. Because deep down they understand something powerful. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. You don't become confident and then act. You act, and confidence grows with every step, every attempt, every mistake, every lesson. That is how growth works, slowly, quietly, but consistently. So stop expecting instant results. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Success is not built overnight. It is built through small daily actions. Through discipline when motivation disappears, through commitment when things get difficult. Because motivation fades, but discipline stays. And discipline is what separates dreamers from achievers. Dreamers talk about what they want. Achievers build what they want. Dreamers wait for inspiration. Achievers create momentum. Dreamers hope life will change. Achievers decide to change it. So if you truly want a different future, stop living like everyone else. Stop doing only what is comfortable. Growth never happens inside comfort zones. It happens in uncertainty, in effort, in persistence, and yes, sometimes in pain. But that pain has a purpose. It transforms you, it builds resilience, it strengthens your mindset, and one day you realize something incredible. The obstacles that once scared you have become the lessons that shaped you. So stop fearing difficulty. Difficulty is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Every challenge carries a hidden opportunity. Every setback carries a hidden lesson. Every failure carries hidden wisdom. But only if you are willing to learn. Only if you are willing to keep moving. Because success is not about avoiding problems. It is about becoming strong enough to overcome them. And that strength begins in the mind. Your mindset determines everything. two people can face the same obstacle. One quits, the other grows stronger. What makes the difference? Perspective. One sees a problem, the other sees a challenge. One sees an ending, the other sees a beginning. So stop thinking like a victim. Start thinking like a creator. Because you have more control than you realize. You can control your effort. You can control your focus. You can control your attitude. And when you master those things, life begins to change, slowly at first, but then faster and faster, until one day the life you once dreamed about becomes your reality. But remember, everything begins with awareness. Everything begins with a pause. Everything begins with one powerful word. Stop. Stop doubting. Stop delaying. Stop living a life that does not belong to you. Because your story is not finished. Your potential is not limited. Your future is not decided yet, but the direction of your life depends on the choices you make today. So stop wasting time. Stop living unconsciously. Stop waiting for permission. And start becoming the person you were meant to be. Stop believing that you have unlimited time. Because the truth is, time is the most valuable thing you have. Money can return. Opportunities can come again. But time, once it passes, never comes back. Every day that goes by is a piece of your life disappearing. And most people don't realize this until it's too late. They spend years distracted, scrolling endlessly, watching others build their dreams while they postpone their own. But life is not waiting. The clock is moving every single second. And the question is simple. What are you doing with the time you have? Are you building something meaningful? Or are you just passing time? Because there is a huge difference between being busy and being productive. Many people are busy all day, but at the end of the day, nothing truly changed. No progress, no growth, just exhaustion. That's why sometimes you must stop. Stop the distractions. Stop the habits that slowly steal your future. Because small habits shape big destinies. What you do every day becomes who you become tomorrow. If you waste hours every day, years will disappear. But if you invest those hours, your life can transform. Imagine this. 1 hour a day learning a skill. 1 hour a day improving yourself. 1 hour a day building something meaningful. In 1 year, that becomes 365 hours of progress. That is how extraordinary lives are built. Not through one huge moment, but through small, consistent actions repeated over time. So stop underestimating the power of daily effort. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is often just consistency. Most people quit too early. They start something. They feel excited. But when the results don't come quickly, they stop. They lose patience. They lose belief. And they move on to something else. Again and again. But the people who succeed do something different. They keep going when progress feels invisible. They keep working when motivation fades. They keep showing up even when nobody is watching. Because they understand something powerful. Success is not always loud. Sometimes success grows silently, like a seed under the soil. For a long time, nothing seems to happen, but underground roots are forming, strength is building. And then one day the seed breaks through the surface. That is how growth works, quiet, slow, but unstoppable. So stop quitting too soon. Stop giving up just because the path is difficult. Every meaningful journey is difficult. Every great dream demands sacrifice, late nights, hard work, doubt, failure. But those challenges shape you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone capable of handling success when it finally arrives. Because success without growth is dangerous, but success built through struggle becomes unbreakable. That's why the process matters. Every step matters. Every effort matters. Even the days when you feel like nothing is working. Because those days are building your resilience. And resilience is one of the most powerful traits you can develop. Life will test you, again and again, through setbacks, through disappointment, through moments when everything feels uncertain. But resilient people don't break, they adapt. They learn, they continue moving forward, and eventually they reach places others never will. Not because they were more talented, but because they refused to quit. So stop doubting your journey. Stop thinking you are behind. Everyone moves at their own pace. Your path is unique. Your struggles are shaping your strength. Your experiences are preparing you for something bigger. You may not see it yet, but one day everything will make sense. Every challenge, every lesson, every setback, they will connect like pieces of a puzzle, and you will realize something powerful. Nothing was wasted. Everything was preparing you for the life you are capable of creating. But that life requires courage, the courage to change, the courage to start again, the courage to stop living in fear. Because the moment you choose courage, everything begins to shift. Your mindset expands. Your actions become stronger. Your future becomes brighter. And slowly, step by step, you move closer to the person you were meant to become. So today, remember this. Sometimes progress does not begin with starting something new. Sometimes progress begins with stopping something old. Stop the habits that hold you back. Stop the thoughts that limit your belief. Stop the distractions that steal your focus. Because when you remove what is holding you down, you finally give yourself the chance to rise. Your life is not over. Your opportunity is not gone. Your potential is still waiting to be unleashed. But the next chapter of your life depends on what you decide today. So take a deep breath, look at your life honestly, and ask yourself one simple question. What must I stop today so that my future can begin? Because the moment you answer that question, the moment you take responsibility, the moment you decide to change, everything begins with one powerful word: stop. Stop letting the past control your future. Many people are not trapped by their circumstances, they are trapped by their memories. A mistake they made years ago, a failure that broke their confidence, a moment when everything went wrong, and since that day, they carry the weight of it everywhere. They replay it again and again in their minds. What if I had done things differently? What if I had tried harder? What if I had made a better decision? But the past cannot be rewritten. No matter how many times you think about it, it will never change. And the more you focus on it, the more power you give it over your present. That is why sometimes you must stop. Stop blaming yourself for who you were, because the person you were in the past did not know what you know today. Growth changes people. Experience changes perspective. The mistakes you made were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to teach you. Every failure contains a lesson. Every disappointment carries wisdom, but only if you allow yourself to move forward. Holding on to regret is like carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. It slows you down. It drains your energy, and eventually it convinces you that progress is impossible. But the truth is, you are not your past. You are your decisions today. Right now, at this moment, you have the power to change direction. You have the power to choose a different mindset. You have the power to build a different future. But that power only appears when you let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to old pain. Stop reliving old failures. Stop defining yourself by the worst moments of your life, because those moments do not represent your full story. They represent chapters, not the ending. Imagine if every successful person allowed their worst moment to define them. Imagine if they gave up after the first failure. Imagine if they believed the voices telling them they were not good enough. The world would look very different today. Great inventions would not exist. Great leaders would never have emerged. Great stories would never have been written. Because every remarkable achievement was built on moments of doubt. Moments when everything seemed impossible. Moments when quitting would have been easier. But those people made a different choice. They chose to keep going. They chose to believe that their future could still be greater than their past. And that belief changed everything. Your story can change too. No matter where you are right now. No matter how many mistakes you think you've made, your next decision still matters. Your next action still matters. Your next step still matters, because transformation does not happen all at once. It begins with a decision to stop living in yesterday, a decision to stop letting fear define your tomorrow. And once that decision is made, momentum begins. Slowly your mindset changes. Slowly your confidence grows. Slowly your life starts moving in a new direction. And one day you look back and realize something incredible. The person you once were is no longer who you are. You have evolved. You have grown. You have become stronger than the version of yourself who once doubted everything. That is the power of growth. Growth transforms pain into wisdom, failure into experience, doubt into confidence. But growth requires courage, the courage to forgive yourself, the courage to start again, the courage to believe that your best days are still ahead of you, because they are. Your future is not locked. Your destiny is not fixed. You are still writing the story. Every day, every choice, every action, and the story can change at any moment. All it takes is awareness. All it takes is courage. All it takes is one powerful decision. The decision to stop letting the past define you. So take a moment today. Look at your life honestly and release the weight you have been carrying. Forgive yourself, learn from your mistakes, and move forward stronger. Because the future belongs to those who refuse to stay stuck in the past. Remember this: your past may have shaped you, but it does not control you. Your mistakes may have taught you, but they do not limit you. Your struggles may have tested you, but they do not defeat you. You are still here, still breathing, still capable of creating something meaningful. And that means your story is far from over. But the next chapter begins with one simple word: stop. Stop living in regret. Stop holding on to yesterday. Stop believing your best days are behind you, because your future is still waiting for you to claim it.